A battle is heating up over a crosswalk in Florida. The State Department of Transportation has painted over a rainbow crosswalk in Orlando meant to honor the 49 people killed in the 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting. That memorial was originally painted by the city after thousands of people signed a petition in favor of the rainbow tribute. But the state then painted over it, saying streets can't have political messages. Now activists have recolored the crosswalk at least twice, but each time the state paints over it again. Now, law enforcement officials are guarding the crosswalk to deter activists from putting those colors back. Democratic State Senator Guillermo Smith is in Orlando and says he not only supports the crosswalk rainbow, he's participated in coloring it. Senator, thanks for coming on. The City Council says they're working on a permanent memorial for the Pulse victims. So why is it so important to have this rainbow crosswalk?
Well, what's important to understand is the depraved political act that the governor and the Florida Department of Transportation committed when they sent secret workers to Orlando in the middle of the night to engage in an act of state-sponsored vandalism, when they painted over the rainbow crosswalk that has been there for 8 years. It was put there after the horrific tragedy at Pulse nightclub, not only to honor those 49 individuals who were murdered there, mostly LGBTQ people of color who were taken, but also to actually enhance the safety of the pedestrians and visitors who come here year after year to pay their respects. That rainbow crosswalk is not just any crosswalk. It is a part of the Pulse Memorial design, and the governor's insistence that he will not allow our state roads to be commandeered for political purposes just flies in the face of reality. A tribute to people who were murdered is not political. And he's also a giant hypocrite. He has named highways and roads after Rush Limbaugh. He has put up FDOT signage promoting propaganda around the Everglades camp known as Alligator Alcatraz. This was just a cruel political act that is an insult to our community that has already experienced so much.
In addition to the argument that the streets should not have political messages, the Florida Department of Transportation also says it has a duty to ensure the safety and consistency of public roadways. What's your response to that?
Well, the reality is that this rainbow crosswalk, in addition to so many other enhancements meant for pedestrian safety around the city of Orlando, were approved in partnership with the Florida Department of Transportation. This rainbow crosswalk that they claim is a political message, that we need to change it back somehow because we need to protect pedestrians. This crosswalk has studies that backed the reality that this actually makes pedestrians even more safe as they are paying their respects as they visit the Pulse nightclub site here. This messaging is not to be believed. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the state is trying to erase LGBTQ people, but our community is fighting back. We're sending a message that we will not be erased. And we're joining even with small business leaders in Orlando who have begun offering their parking lots at their places of business and their restaurants, asking folks in the community to show up to paint those rainbows, because we're going to build back gayer. And in many places nearby this crosswalk, even if the state wins this battle, we will see these rainbow canvases appear. They're going to be even more colorful. They're going to be even more visible, and they're going to be even larger than the state ever imagined, because as we learned after the horrific tragedy at Pulse nightclub, we learned that love always wins.
Federal officials are also weighing in here. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy posted on social media, and I'm quoting here, "Taxpayers expect their dollars to fund safe streets, not rainbow crosswalks." What do you say to that?
Well, again, the reality is that the State Department of Transportation actually approved these crosswalks before they reversed course and painted over them. The only reason the governor has effectively changed his mind and created a new policy in order to remove these rainbow crosswalks is because Governor Ron DeSantis has been radicalized by his own political ambition. But again, our community is sending a message that we will not be erased. We're going to build back gayer, if you will, and there's going to be even more rainbows nearby that are going to be larger and more colorful than they ever imagined.
Do you plan to keep coloring the crosswalk? What's the plan now that law enforcement is there to protect it?
Well, it's so absurd that the Florida Highway Patrol is now sending officers to this site in order to monitor the situation, to try to bully and intimidate local residents who are there to basically just push back against what the state has done. They are prioritizing the patrolling of this area over actually filling potholes, actually building transportation infrastructure. And all of this, again, is a intentional distraction from Governor Ron DeSantis, who wants to distract from the fact that he's done nothing to lower soaring property insurance rates in the state of Florida, to change the subject around the state's illegal plan to rig congressional maps to keep themselves in power, and certainly to distract from their extreme agenda, from the big betrayal bill that is going to take health care away from millions of working families and deny them food benefits. Of course, this is an insult against our community, but it's also a major distraction from their extreme agenda that they don't want people talking about.
All right, Florida State Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith, we appreciate your time today, Senator. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.